Hey guys, what's up? It's Kyoya. Today I wanted to go over my ultimate guide for Etheria restart progression. So I have been working on this guide for quite a bit, so I wanted to share it with you. This is the only guide you're going to need if you want to make sure that you're able to easily and efficiently, as a free-to-play or very light spender, progress through Etheria restart. This guide covers pretty much day 1 all the way up until you hit around level 50. So if that sounds like it's for you, just stay tuned. Let's talk a little bit about it. So link down below, make sure to click it. And while you're down there, if you can leave a like and maybe subscribe, plan to make a bunch of content like this moving forward. So I think you'll kind of like what we have going on here if this fancies you. So pretty much all you have to do is jump in here, go up here to file, and then you're just going to want to go down and you're going to want to click make a copy. So once you do that, I don't have it because this is my version. Then you can do this, make a copy, and this will help you use the checklist, which we'll talk about later on. TLDR of this guide is it goes over what you need to prioritize, which if you guys don't know, you want to prioritize your story first because it helps you unlock a bunch of other stuff. You're also going to want to go and do your Hyperlink Chronicle. This has a bunch of different quests, and when you're doing this, you can jump over to Never Lucky's guide, which is right here, and this guide shows you everything, and I mean everything, that is on the hyperlink progression. Now, one thing to keep in mind about this is there will be adjustments happening based on the balance patch notes. We don't know what those are. Never Lucky will be updating this live, so by the time you get to it, to be honest, he probably got to it before you and would have updated it. So don't worry too much about it. It will be updated live. And yeah, just check it out. Again, you can go file, make a copy, and save it for yourself. And it has everything in here. So yeah, so you can line this up because there are some situations, like for example, there's one right here where it says, hey, you got to go beat Terramaton Nightmare 2. And so you're like, oh, okay, I guess I'll go beat Terramaton Nightmare 2 times 10. And one thing to keep in mind about the Hyperlink Chronicle stuff is that the times 10s do not carry over. They will not prematurely complete. So if you do 30 runs on Nightmare 2 and you haven't gotten up to the point where it says Nightmare 2 times 10, you're still gonna have to do that. So it's better to just go do the Nightmare 1 and above. And sure, like farming on Nightmare 2 is nice, but like you can just stop, not spend that stamina, and that would be one less run that you have to do for Nightmare 2 plus. So just keep that in mind when you're actually going through and progressing through the game. So if you really want to min-max, utilizing this in tandem with my guide will be the best bet. Now, other things that it has is recommendations about characters to like reroll for, ones that you're happy to see and you should build. Rahu, you could argue is here, but I think Rahu's more of a PvP unit compared to this guy, which is more PvE based. I also highly recommend, and I'll make a whole video about what I think is the best option for the selectors, but my honest opinion is you probably save it until like day 3. And if you haven't hit Ramoka and you're starting to struggle to clear Doki Doki, you should probably pick and build Ramoka because you're going to want her later. And my guide is basing off the fact that you will have Ramoka. It is the only SSR that I think you have to actually easily progress through this game as a free-to-play player. Additionally, I do recommend that you pull on the Freya Banner. She's so good, mostly with Sonya. These are like so good of a pair because Freya's an attack buffer. She has turn meter manipulation. While the down got nerfed to a percentage, it's not really relevant because anything above 50% doesn't matter because you just slap on like accuracy and you're fine, mostly against PvE. And the manipulation up didn't get nerfed at all. Yeah, it's still fine there. And she also has a very short cooldown on the attack buff, and she also is able to give you a team-wide defense buff, which is really nice when you're pairing it with someone like Sonya who really wants to tank and cycle. So you can kind of see how these guys work together. And pretty much a lot of the strategy is that you're going to either just stat check a dungeon or you're going to outsustain it. And that is kind of the goal that these two are doing in tandem. There's also something to keep in mind, and that is these are the free units that you get. So if you're brand new to the game, you probably don't know that you will 100% be able to get these units. And if you guys don't know, after you complete, I forget which story chapter it is, but you'll be given a free SR selector box. You should always pick Kazuya. You can't pick any of the other SRs that I recommend. And for that reason, you should pick Kazuya. Even though you may think, hey, I already have Kazuya, I should pick like Turnadot or Yang, who are the other two options. That is actually completely bait. So when you are a free-to-play player, it is better to be hyper fixated on a single small group that are just high value, high quality characters and making them as powerful as possible, because you are going to be tunneled and funneling your resources onto a very small roster because you're limited on your resources. So every bit has to count. So when you're playing against whales, the only way that you can match up is you will never be able to match them in depth and the amount, the quantity that they have, but you can reach a peak in the quality, right? There's only a certain peak that characters can get. Now they will probably have very slightly higher because they're just going to be able to farm more modules and therefore slightly better modules. But once they hit a certain cap, the progression starts to kind of flatline. And when you reach that point, you will at least have that for your cast of characters. So what I'm saying is the imprints matter, dupes matter, and Kazuya's dupes are actually pretty good. Mostly because of how much you're going to use her and the fact that being able to use a character like this in both PvP and PvE is very powerful. Now, you're probably looking at my cast of really good SRs and you're like, didn't they just nerf all these? Well, they were all deserved nerfs, to be entirely honest with you. And I still think these are the best units. Now, Dating could be on here, but there is one slight problem with Dating, even though I do recommend him in some of my shell teams and stuff. The easiest way to explain it is Dating is really good when he works, but to make him work, you need good single target DPSs. And if you haven't realized something, you don't really have any characters doing single target in this entire account. I mean, you have Leanne, who is AoE until she S1s. Pretty much the entire start of her kit is AoEs. Gray is a AoE. Kazuya is a AoE. Dinah is a AoE. You can kind of see my point here. And because of that, you're not going to be able to consistently guarantee that Dating's mark is going to go on to the main boss. So yeah. That's one reason why I think Victor is a little bit better. He is also much better in PvP. His damage reduction when he has lower health did not get nerfed. It was only his damage. So he won't be one-shotting stuff, which was stupid in the first place, but he will still be a really good bruiser DPS. So I think that he still serves a really good function as a really good kind of light dark SR DPS that you have an option for. But if you want to go to Ting, I won't hate you. Everyone else on here is really good and you will use them. Their nerfs won't matter. The only one that's a little bit weird here is this other Kazuya. This is very specifically for Nico Nana. That's it. Now there are some cheese things you can do with her because she does give a minus cooldown, similar to Kraken, but hey, that's for you to figure out. If you're confused on early gearing, we got it all, baby. Everything about how to use your early free gear during the early chapters where you really have nothing to work with and you're only given a few free stuff, who to put it on, why shells are just so broken. I promise to make a video on this specifically. They're absolutely insane, and when you're allowed to reconfigure them, stuff like that. How to build your Gray, because I know that all of you guys are building him wrong for the most part. Sonya, Freya, you're gonna see them, you're gonna use them a lot, they're gonna be your best friends. Shell teams, everything that you need to know about these shell bosses and all the different things to do. Now, I also put Ruby Panda spreadsheet in here. Check it out. It's going to be better once we get into a live game and people are actually inputting data into it, but it's pretty much a good little kind of tool to see what teams people are clearing. And this kind of is collected from all the servers, and you can just kind of go into the team database and you can input all the units that you want, that you have access to, and kind of find a team combination that works for you. So just keep that in mind. Also for modules, and if you guys don't trust me on the modules, hey, see these? There I am right there, Takasumi, and Levy, Alt Chad. These are all my guild teammates, and you can see here he literally just copied my team. And Alt Chad's team, this one in the beta, is one that we cooked up together in a voice call, ran it through, and he was by far, not even close, the fastest clear on Inferno. And this would be only slightly slower if he didn't have like easily the best Rosa on the server. So yeah, despite that, trust me, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to how to clear these modules. So even though you'll see weird recommendations in here, you can do that. So this is kind of teaching you how to build it. The only one that's kind of easy to do is Doki Doki, because it's just about getting Ramolka to do enough and then just learning how to cheese it, mostly early on with like the Kraken and B-Tech. Definitely recommend checking out this section right here. And this is really just teaching you how to build your teams, because I could maybe walk you through it, but there's a couple of issues. One, by the time you get to Inferno, everyone's account's going to be so different. It's really hard to make any specific guide until we actually get there. Two, there's also the fact that if you don't learn how to build the team, you're going to struggle to learn how to play the game. So it's really important to learn why we're using these characters and how, so this way you can adapt it to your account specifically and for future content. So just keep that in mind. So kind of just pick what fits you and what characters you have and what characters you have been building. And then this is also trying my best to kind of say, hey, you should have these characters by now as well, for the most part. And then there's a progression checklist. This has everything. You'll see right here on the side here, It has when you unlock everything and like a mini daily checklist just so you can keep yourself up to date. And it also has everything about pre-level 10. So this is telling you exactly what steps to do. So if you're lost, never played the game before, or just want someone to just refresh yourself to make sure that you're not like wasting any resources, this is where you're going to want to be. And you can just tick it off as you go. This is why you want to make a copy. So go on through, tick it all off, and yeah, it's literally everything all the way up to 50. If you need help, there's a visualizer here to let you know when you're probably going to be hitting certain breakpoints. That is this, I just stole it off main cord. I'm sorry, whoever I stole this from on main cord, shout out to you. You know who you are. This has just been going around, so just threw it in there. So there's that. So yeah, if you use this guide in tandem with Never Luckies, and if you're struggling, you can always go and find Ruby Panda's guide, and you can go through there as well to utilize all this information together to create the best strategy for you. So that's everything. So if you were needing help progressing through Etheria Restart, hopefully this guide helps you, and you can click the link below to get it now. And while you're down there, if you could do me a huge favor and click the like button and subscribe to the channel if this is the type of content that you guys are after, I guarantee you won't regret it. So hopefully this helps, and I'll see you guys next time.